Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. Today marks the 28th anniversary of one of the most devastating hurricanes experienced by Jamaicans. Any ideas on which hurricane I'm talking about? Here's a hint. Water come in my room, we sweep out some with the broom. The little dog laughed to see such fun and the dish run away with the spoon. If you guessed Hurricane Gilbert, you're correct. While the song remains a hit in the hearts of many Jamaicans, hurricanes are no laughing matter. In the event of a hurricane, we want to encourage you to listen to the bulletins from the Met Office and heed the evacuation warnings from ODPEM.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your GIS News for Monday, September 12. A grooming policy for public and private schools will be implemented by the 2017-2018 academic year. Minister of Education, Youth and Information Ruel Reid made the disclosure during an interview with GIS News.
I have given instructions to my permanent secretary to get the National Council on Education to begin an island-wide stakeholder consultation, and that will inform me as to the crafting of the policy, which we are hoping to get a feedback on all of that by the end of March 2017, so that ahead of the next school year, there will be a very clear policy guideline for the entire education system regards to hairstyle, grooming, and dressing generally.
The Education Minister's directive follows recent public debate about grooming standards after a 3-year-old was denied entry to a private school because of his hairstyle. The Food Task Force unit of the Ministry of Health will be leading a campaign with schools to combat non-communicable diseases (NCDs). Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the program to be launched soon will increase the intervention projects in schools promoting proper nutrition. This initiative will work in tandem with the Jamaica Moves program, which will also come on stream shortly to promote physical activity at the community level.
It's all about prevention or promoting prevention. Because again, prevention reduces the strain on the public health system, leads to longevity of life and quality of life. So for all those reasons, even before we start getting to hospital beds and emergency rooms and so on, we must tell people or encourage people to get into the habit of treating themselves in a particular manner to reduce these risks.
Mr. Tufton was speaking on Saturday at the Caribbean Wellness Day Expo in Halfway Tree. The activity was held under the theme, Love Your Body, Treat Your Body Right. Still on education, 59 school-level students now have school supplies courtesy of the Administrator General's Department, AGD. 46 of the recipients are beneficiaries of estates being administered by the AGD, while the remaining 13 are children of staff of the department. Administrator General and CEO of the AGD, Mrs. Lona Brown, used the function to encourage the recipients.
As you enter either the secondary or tertiary education system, much of the responsibility will be on your shoulders in terms of how you progress academically. You will therefore be required to pay an even greater attention to your studies.
The AGD administers the estates of persons who have died interstate and have left children under the age of 18 years. It protects the interests of minors, beneficiaries, and creditors of estates. In other news, the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, will be launching a program to increase the public's awareness and responsibility on the issue of marine litter. The Adopt a Beach program will be launched on International Coastal Cleanup Day to be observed on Saturday, September 17. NEPA officials who were at a JIS think tank on Friday said the program was critical given how marine waste affects our beaches and marine mammals.
in that program, what we'll be providing to communities or people who want to select a beach is the tools to actually clean up the beach. So normally it's garbage bags, gloves to pick up the garbage. When you do it, the aim is for the public to select a beach and every month or every quarter go out and clean up that beach. And that way they can recognize, even if you clean up a beach today, tomorrow you see the garbage there again because someone has not thrown away their garbage properly. So we want to bring to the public the need to proper dispose of their waste.
1,000 volunteers are expected to participate in NEPA's International Coastal Cleanup Day beach cleaning exercise to take place at Half Moon Bay in Helcher, St. Catherine. International Coastal Cleanup Day is an annual global exercise organized locally by the Jamaica Environment Trust, JET. Persons wishing to participate in the activities can visit JET's website at jamentrust.org to register. And finally, 196 vector control workers have been trained to help the Southern Regional Health Authority in its fight against mosquito-borne diseases. 88 workers will be sent to Clarendon, 57 to Manchester, and 51 in St. Elizabeth. The temporary vector control workers were trained through a partnership with the Heart Trust NTA. The workers received training in areas such as mosquito breeding and prevention, premises inspection, environmental awareness, and waste management. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Protect yourself from the bite of this mosquito. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Catch up on the latest news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister next.
Don't beat our children. Better budget for crime fighting. And plans to develop strip from Kingston Airport to New Kingston. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anjui James Sawyers.
I understand sometimes the pressures that you're under. That when the child does something, on top of all the other problems you have, you react. And your first reaction is to slap. I beg you, stop beating our children. That is violence. And when you do that, what you're teaching the child is that the only way to resolve conflict is to resort to violence.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness imploring parents not to use corporal punishment as a means to curb their children's bad behavior. Instead, he encouraged them to grow their children with love, respect, and to reason things out. Prime Minister Holness also urged parents to send their children to school even if they do not have the requisite fees.
We have reintroduced the no tuition policy. We are not saying that education is free. But what we are saying is that every single Jamaican child must have access to education, whether or not they can afford it. I encourage every single Jamaican parent, don't stay at home and say you can't afford it, you don't have it. Send that child to school. And if any teacher or any principal send back that child, you send them to me and let me deal with it.
Mr. Holness was speaking Monday at a Safe School function at the Caenwood Primary and Junior High School, which also served as its 60th anniversary celebration. By Tuesday, Prime Minister Holness was at the Ministry of Education's head office at National Heroes Circle on what he termed was the start of a series of missioning exercises. He said the visit was an opportunity to interface directly with ministry representatives and ensure that all parties are aligned to the state's priorities.
It was a chance to deliver the mission of the government specific to education and how education fits into the bigger picture for economic growth and job creation and public safety, and just making Jamaica the place of choice for us to live, work, and raise our families. So it is an important strategy in ensuring that there is a whole of government mission.
Prime Minister Holness held a similar exercise at the Heart Trust NTA on Oxford Road Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, government's fiscal discipline and economic stability program paid off when Prime Minister Holness witnessed the transportation of the first shipment of locally brewed red stripe beer to the United States in 4 years. Mr. Holness said the $6 billion investment made by Red Stripe was an indication of confidence in the Jamaican economy.
You see how inclusive this is. And you see the connection between good government policy, inspiring business executives to take a risk, and how that can pay off in the expansion of production and growing our economy, creating prosperity for all.
As a result of the investment, an additional 50 Jamaicans are now gainfully employed at Red Stripe. Wednesday afternoon saw the Prime Minister participating in a forum looking at Jamaica-US relations. As he zoned in on security, Mr. Holness told the gathering that the government was fairly advanced in its plan to secure the nation. He said a comprehensive and strategic national security plan would be ready by October.
In the next budget, you will see an allocation, which will be significant but necessary in ensuring that Jamaica once and for all brings the crime monster to heel.
He also signaled his intent to enhance the relationship between Jamaica and the U.S. from one of aid and grants to one of mutually beneficial interests.
The relationship in the next 50 years, it has to be development. It has to be on growing our economy so that we can stand truly as independent citizens, which is really what equal citizenship means. Very important that when people come to Jamaica, the first thing they see are signs of development.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness announcing government's plans to develop the corridor of road from the Norman Manley International Airport to New Kingston.
The idea is to turn the port of Kingston Harbour, into a port of call for cruise shipping and tourism and home porting.
Mr. Holness was speaking at Thursday's opening of Carib Cement's Sports Club and Wellness Center. The building housing the center is a National Heritage Site, which was renovated at a cost of $800,000.
You know that having a workforce that sees demonstrably that you care about them improves your industrial relations. So overall, this investment will pay for itself in good time and will improve the productivity and profitability of this enterprise.
And following news of Friday's road crash in Clarendon, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said enhanced laws were coming to deal with reckless road use. 28 persons, 23 of whom were students at the Garvey Maceo High School in Clarendon, were injured in a road crash Friday morning. Mr. Holness said in addition to amendments to the Road Traffic Act, government will be accompanied by a national road safety campaign. The Prime Minister had other engagements this past week. On Monday, the Prime Minister handed over desktop and laptop computers to the Nurses Association of Jamaica, fulfilling a promise made to the group. The computers are to assist the nurses with in-service education under their critical care program. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Holness was at the National Stadium cheering on the national football team, the Reggae Boys. Jamaica's newly appointed ambassador to the United States, Audrey Marks, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Holness Thursday. And the Prime Minister on Friday hosted a farewell reception for Ambassador Marks at Bay Royal. The function was funded by the American Chamber of Commerce. Earlier in the day, Mr. Holness gifted 9 high and tertiary students with Lenovo computers to assist in their educational pursuits. And that's how we close things off on Jamaica House Weekly. We return next time with more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Didn't like school and Mommy used to have to wake me up.
Tabla, hurry up. You're going to be late for school.
Hey, now that I have a tablet, you don't need to wake me up. Since Mommy and Daddy bought me a tablet, I use my tablet for all kinds of cool stuff. I use my tablet to read books. I use my tablet to learn about history and science. I use my tablet to help with my homework. I even use it to talk to my daddy at work. Hello, Daddy!
Learning is easy and fun with a tablet. Take care of your tablet, use it wisely.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
On this day, back in 1988, Hurricane Gilbert struck the island, leaving extensive damage in its wake. While we can't prevent natural disasters such as hurricanes from occurring, we can limit their impact on the country. Hear more about the state's plans for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season.
The forecast is, based on the projection, that we will have a near average season. Here we see on our chart the average season consisting of about 12 tropical storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes. A major lesson that we learned from last year was in Tropical Storm Erica. The center of Erica passed about 90 miles to the north of Dominica. The system did not hit Dominica. It was a tropical storm in an inactive season that stayed away from the island. Okay? Erica produced over $480 million in damage to Dominica, and over 30 lives were lost. There was significant flooding, significant devastation, there were significant landslides, and Dominica, it was suggested that about half of the GDP was the nature of the loss. I want us to remember the messages that come out of the Meteorological Service during a hurricane season, especially if there is any considered threat or possibility of threat. There is the tropical storm or the hurricane watch that is issued when a tropical storm or hurricane poses a possible threat within 48 hours. So if we consider that there is a possible threat within a 2-day period, we would issue a watch. So make sure that you have a battery-operated radio. Electricity might fail you. So ensure that you're able to hear what these watches are.
Our focus in the Ministry of Health really is to look at heightened surveillance for us to be able to detect and contain any disease. I am spending a little time on the arboviruses because you know we are approaching the rainy season. Yes, we are. So he said. And it means that what is going to come up? Mosquitoes. They soon come. They're going to come up in their numbers. And as such, we have to be able to contain whatever illness that is being transmitted. And we have 4 on our hands. We have chick, we have dengue, we have Zika, and what is the other one? Yellow fever. All transmitted by the very same beautiful female mosquito. Right. So we have to have our heightened surveillance to detect and contain the virus. Most importantly, we need to ensure that the public is aware. We need to be sending the message or the messages and ensuring that the impact that I really want is what is received. So we have to look at how we craft these messages. It is important that we enhance our integrated vector management program. We must strengthen laboratory capacity. We must continue training, and of course, we can't do it alone. There's nothing that I'm going to speak about that is a health matter. It is our matter, a Jamaica matter.
The National Works Agency's responsibility is a big one, being a first responder in the event of a weather system impacting us. In preparation for this year, we have been doing a number of things. From as far back as December, when we had a RMF-funded program valued at $140 million, under which we cleaned many drains right across the country. I must tell you that we have some 175 drains, main drains that we have identified around the country. And these pretty much form the core of our activities whenever it is we are planning for the hurricane season.
My message is not about our state of readiness, but is about getting compliance. I believe we have become very irresponsible in how we deal with certain issues in the country. And when we look at what the country has to spend to clean drains and to do all the necessary mitigation work that is needed, when we ask ourselves the question, if we were a more responsive society in terms of abiding by the laws of the land, we would be able to mitigate significantly in the amount of money we spend to put in corrective measures. While I will readily admit that the National Solid Waste Management Authority is not equipped fully to deal effectively with garbage collection, but it is no excuse for us to continue to be operating this way. I strongly believe that compulsory evacuation has to be the way in many communities. The law must take its course. I don't believe that people in Portland Cottage and in sections of St. Thomas and St. Mary and sections of the corporate area, whenever the warning is given, I don't believe nobody should tell us that me nah move. The law should take its course. So compliance has to be a part of the program this year as we deal with our preparedness for disaster response.
I say be careful what you teach your little children. Make sure I know something to hurt them.
Parents, keep your children safe and protected. Stay alert and be aware of where your children are at all times. Submit the latest photo of your child to his or her school. Know what's happening with your child. Listen to them when they say they don't feel comfortable going to a certain place or being around certain persons. Act quickly when your child tells you he or she has been touched inappropriately or approached with unwanted requests. Be the change. Help us protect our children. For more information, call 1-888-776-8328 or 1-876-878-2882. Did you know that about 9 out of 10 missing children on the island are returned? Yep. The government is working even harder to ensure that all children who go missing are returned safely to their homes or places of safety. Hear more about it next.
This used to be my playground. This used to be my childhood dream.
The Office of the Children's Registry, OCR, is the agency responsible for coordinating the safe recovery of children who go missing. The OCR collects data on and refers cases of child abuse to the Child Development Agency and the Office of the Children's Advocate for investigation and action. In addition to training search and recovery personnel, the OCR has partnered with the Library Service to disseminate information on missing children.
We have signed Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Transport Works and Housing in terms of collaboration with the JUTC buses, and we have signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of environment, climate change, in terms of we're going to be using spatial data from the spatial data unit.
But the most important tool in its arsenal is the Ananda alert system.
The administrative aspect of the Ananda alert system is also now operated by the Office of the Children's Registry since the 1st of March 2013. The Ananda alert system is a nationwide system which seeks to have children who would have gone missing or reported missing within 24 hours or less. We try to ensure that all information as it regards to their whereabouts, their location, their description is disseminated island-wide.
As soon as a parent cannot account for their child's whereabouts, then they are able to make a report to the police station or to the registry by calling 1-888-PROTECT. And an Ananda alert is then activated and a risk assessment done to determine if it is a case where it is very high risk or the risk is more minimal. At that point, if the report is received by the registry, within 30 minutes of receipt, it is dispatched to the corporate communications unit and the missing person monitoring unit, and from there, the interactions and investigation will begin.
The Ananda alert system would not work as efficiently as it does without the support of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. There is a dedicated missing persons monitoring unit in the JCF.
When someone is reported missing at a station, this information is sent to CCU immediately. Once confirmed with the local station, an immediate release is done, and this is sent out.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force also has other branches that are active participants in the search and recovery efforts. They include the Corporate Communication Unit, the CCU, the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, and the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse, CISOCA.
The Police 119 Emergency Center plays a big role because what they do, they take this information and further disseminate it through the police network. So all police formations and divisions are made aware of this missing person. Along with that, you have the National Intelligence Bureau, who further does correlation, intelligence gathering around this missing person, investigation, as well as alerting other partners regionally and internationally of this missing person.
Once a child is recovered, the work of the team doesn't end. The next step in the process is restoration.
Once a child is located, then we do a follow-up in counseling and social intervention from the Child Development Agency. If we do have issues with the Ministry of Education, specific schools that wanting to take back that child because the child would have been out for a period of time, we do work together to see how we can get back that child to continue their education.
The JCF has also been making moves in child care and protection with the introduction of the Stay Alert app.
This sends alert to persons who are utilizing the Stay Alert. So you get an immediate alert that someone is missing, the area, all that information that you need along with the photograph.
All of these initiatives, however, will bear no fruit if you and I don't get involved. If you know or suspect that a child is being abused, act. Call the police, call the OCR, or message the JCF on its new app. The care and protection of our children is everybody's business.
This used to be my playground. This used to be my childhood dream. This used to be the place.
And that's how we close our program offering for today. Have comments or queries? Drop us a line, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Need up-to-date information on all positive things happening in Jamaica? Visit our website, jis.gov.jm. We're also available on all social media platforms. And what's more, we now have a JIS app that can be downloaded from Apple and Google Play stores. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.